$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Suleiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaker of 7 seals. It's here, brothers and sisters. I've been warning you about this for years. Now it's here. And I'm going to spend some time explaining it to you. I just explain it to you, tell you what you can expect to happen, what will happen, and what you need to do about it. Because blind dog Farrakhan, he's been taking your money for the last 40-some years. He hasn't produced a damn thing. He's telling you all this stuff, but he didn't see this coming. He didn't see this coming. But he talks to God. And God's behind it, but he didn't see this coming. He's talking about something, Armageddon. And then he changed that. Said 3 years ago, he said Armageddon started, and then last Sunday, oh well, it's at the door. And he talked about the Middle East, but it was tekel. Okay, what does that mean? Tekel, you find this one. What does that mean? See? Time is up, brothers and sisters. It's critical. We're in a critical time now. You need to know exactly what's going on. See? A time of unprecedented trouble in it. We've been warning about this for years. In detail, not watch the weather. When it's going to happen, where it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, who the participants are. In detail. Just go out and look on. Let me say one other thing. This is a time of unprecedented trouble. This is the greatest time in history. This time all scripture is talking about judgment, time of unprecedented trouble, right? Day of God's wrath, the 6th seal. It says Suleiman, he be alone. They had those out there that claimed they were with him, they was with him. But they've been on the case. They've been out doing the firing. See, because this is so powerful. Because all this information, to know exactly, details. What you're seeing right now was given in details. Dates, times, participants. So if you'd been talking about that before it happened, look how powerful you'd have been. How powerful you'd have been. See, Farrakhan always tell my things afterwards. Oh, COVID, he talked about it 7 months later. They knew all about it. I was telling you about it before. The blind Messiah. Then he said, well, no, we was talking about it, William. Like somebody writing a letter, right, and then put it in a drawer. Okay, what's the point of writing a letter, put it in a drawer? I wrote you a letter. Yeah, but you just sent it. I wrote you a letter, but I sent it. See? Because it makes you wonder. It's like, now the media we locked into because that's the way things here. So to communicate, you have to use their communication means. Like Master Muhammad came, he had to use the devil's structure to get his message across. He didn't bring his plane down here. See? So YouTube is one of the methods to communicate. So if you if you go out there and make a presentation, you don't go live with it. That's like taking and putting it, and putting it in a drawer. Because that's where you get the message across. You got to go live with it. You're just going to say something, and that's it. How do people know you say anything? They got to go look for it. Something they don't even know exists. See, that says a lot. So that's why it says, that tree had to be cut down because it wasn't producing anything. That's one of the symptoms right there, right? You see, invisible fruit. Well, what's God? I can't see it. Make a video and then I ain't saying anything. I'll just watch, see how long this is going to take. You never go live with it. So actually, it's like writing a letter and putting it in a drawer. I wrote the letter here. Who got it? Who saw it? That's where YouTube works. You got to go live with it. So, in other words, they were shooting blanks. Now it's too late. If they've been on the case talking about this, then you can prove A. They lost. If they had good intentions, we care about your intentions. The fact is, right, you produce nothing. I wrote a letter. No, you didn't write a letter. I didn't get a letter. Yeah, well, maybe you wrote something. Yeah, I didn't get a letter, so you didn't write anything. Nothing. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. This is a critical time in history. That's why it says, but that's good enough. The problem is, people lost for lack of knowledge because maybe they wouldn't be lost for lack of knowledge if there was. But it says, the Son of Man says he looked. He did. He wondered why nobody helped. Because that would have increased the wavelength frequency. Right? So maybe no one would have been lost, at least less. But they lost for lack of knowledge. So anyway, this is going on right now. The war is on. So I'm going to give you advice if you're willing to take it, tell you what's going to happen, what you need to be doing. And right now, you know what you be doing right now? Very first thing you need to be doing right now, be getting to Walmart or wherever you need to get to and get you at least a month's supply of food that you don't have to cook. You need to do that immediately. Immediately. Get your supply of food, a month for your whole family that you don't need to cook. You may not need that much, but that's the minimum. That's one of the effects that's going to happen here. Even the devils are saying this stuff. It says even the rocks will cry out. I mean, you go look, you see even the devils are saying, they tell you, man, it's going to be an economic collapse. They say America can't win this war. Even they're saying it, and I've been saying it for years. This is the war in heaven. All these clowns out there has been begging for money and telling you, oh man, they have no solutions. It was con artists. I said many false prophets will rise. Well, who are they? Confusing people, ripping people off. They had begging for money. It says the Son of Man wouldn't be begging for anything. Master Muhammad come beg for anything. He came with gifts. He told Elijah Muhammad to take money, but not taking money from himself. He said, take that money from him and show him how to invest it. Critical times. But just think, if you'd been on the case, had this knowledge, you was on the case with this, think how where you be right now. Now it's done. It's on. I did something, I don't know. You know, they got Facebook, they got this thing called event thing. I was so sure that yesterday this was going to happen over the last night. That's the first time I did it. I set an event for 4 o'clock today. I have no idea how to do that. I invite everybody, right? So, and I'm going to try to see if I can work it. I don't know. I've never done it before. I was so sure that this was going to happen. I never did that before. You know how it works. They set an event, right? And I guess you invite everybody. I guess people got invitations or whatever. I don't know. I was so sure it was going to happen, right? So I'll see what happens when 4 o'clock comes. Because you need information, brothers and sisters. I said the first thing you need to be doing right now is get a month supply of food that you don't have to cook and water. Make sure you car full of gas. You'll be doing immediately, if not sooner. Okay? So I told you now. You don't need to know anybody know you're doing it. Because the fools that don't do it, they're gonna know you did it, and what you think is gonna happen then. What was that problem? Muhammad said he can guarantee parents to keep their mouth shut, keep their desires under control. I think he said something like that. Don't quote me. I'm not sure. I think I heard something like that. Anyway, I would say the same thing to some extent. But this was happening. This was going to happen, bro. So let me move on and show a couple of more things here. I write a letter and put it in the drawer. Boy, I wrote a letter. Yeah, you wrote a letter. But I didn't get it. You sent it to me. You got to go live with it. How anybody know about it? I mean, do you need a degree to figure that one out? Very good news. Iran explodes. And I've been saying this for weeks. Yeah, right there. Presentation. Iran explodes. After it'll be about pause about 6 months. The war, and then boom, exploding out. It's not going to turn like they think it's going to turn out. Even the devils are telling you that's not going to work out like they think it's going to work out. Even the devils are telling you that. So if they can see it, wow, they're nervous about it. See? Mr. Trump, I mean, it's excellent. You know, I've explained why these things happen like it happen. They lie so much. That's the darkness. There's so much trouble that the lies are off the page. You hear nothing but lies, the media and everything. Anyway, let's get a little further here. Basically, put this together, bro and sister. So, okay, well, let me show you this. Right now it says it's taking place. They would say, oh man, Saudi Arabia, they're going to be on Iran's side. Is that what's happening now? Why did Iran attack Assad? Now all the Arabs, nations, Sunnis, they're going against the Shia. I said, that's what will happen. A bloodbath. Shia against the Sunnis, going to turn. That's going to be a religious war, aside from the race war. Right? What's the race war? Europeans against the Arabs. That's the race war. Because Israel is leading the pack. Thank you. Someone said I did. Everything I said is exactly right. You don't take my word for it. Ask Farrakhan. He knows about it. It's right there on my YouTube page. Look, last couple of weeks, last couple of months, last couple of years. Assad would be against Iran. The Sunnis would be against them. So that's why they're attacking the Sunni states, countries. See? So how does this play out? Okay, we want some religious references. The war in heaven, chapter 12 of Revelations, it tells you what's going on there. The part you don't see is the part that Master Muhammad plays. See? He's going to be involved in a minute. He may be involved in the background, but he's going to be involved in a minute. It's going to be it's going to be obvious. Right? Well, it can be obvious. You know what to look for, because the media here is going to play it down. They're not going to tell you who took down American planes, because that's their object. The idea is that if everything else fell, they're going to hit Iran with a tactical nuclear device. That's not going to happen, because they're already losing. And Iran's going to tear their ass up. Now, War in Heaven says, if you understand who the dragon is, the dragon's House of Assad and the angels are America, Britain, and false Israel. That's who. Well, Iran is Michael's angels. That's the Shia. He's their 12th imam. Right? Anyway, that's the war. So I'm gonna tell you how we got here, what's the idea behind it, and what you can expect to happen. And what's going to happen is that Iran is going to tear America, Britain, ass up. They're tearing the bases up, and they're going to knock out their aircraft carriers. It's going to be a big shock of the hour. That's going to force America, that's like chapter 12, America, Britain, to flee the Middle East. They're going to flee. Okay, keep that in mind. They're going to have to flee. That's why it says they lost. False Israel be under siege, abandoned, because we won't have America and Britain there. Gog and Magog, that's who got American Britain is, won't be able to protect them. Won't be able to protect them. So they're under siege. And being hit hard. It's going to be relentless, because that's talking about the king of the south, the king of the north in Daniel. It says the king of the south will come, the king of the north will come at them like a whirlwind. Is that what they were saying? They said Iran will come like a whirlwind. Those missiles. It's going to devastate false Israel. And it's going to break American Britain. Right? But set them on fire, send them ass out of there. They send their ass out of there on fire. See? That's what's about to happen. I'm not talking about next year. I'm talking about in the next few days. Next few days. Next few days. So, right? All citizens is going to be, American business is going to be forced out. And they're going to take, and as a result, all citizens are going to be under siege. And like I've been telling you for months, actually ever since so-called that God's all that situation, I told you, false Israel was writing their obituary. Because what they're doing to them is about to happen to them. what they're doing to Sky might have, because now they're surrounded and the Palestinians left. They have surrounded. Remember, as far as Israel is dependent upon, it don't have any, it doesn't not self-sufficient. It's dependent on food, well, everything else from other places. So now under siege and all that, that's why Scripture says, father will eat son, and son will eat father. So they'll be drinking blood. And you have drones all over so the world can see what's happening to them. That's what happened under siege. So none will escape. As Scripture said, none will escape. It says, when you see the abomination of desolation, right? So when it's surrounded by armies, if you understand that, it says where? It says in Jerusalem. I told you, talking about that's false Israel. Isn't it? Who controls Jerusalem? False Israel. It says their destruction. See, that's the part they don't quote right. It says when you see, what's the abomination of desolation? That's been going on for over 2 years, and no one's called it. It's obvious. You know, they talked about the abomination of desolation for years. And Van Ippy and all these people, right? Oh, and all of a sudden, when it happens, why? Because what's the abomination? Look up. If you got an iPhone, look up. That's abomination. Look up abominable. You can't go wrong with that. It said abominable. The definition is the uprising was put down with great cruelty. Wow. Isn't that what happened? The Palestinians rose up and they come down on the genocide. So now we know the bombing is desolate, and that's exactly what happened. But see, the way they was interpreting it, they were saying that that's be the Arabs doing that to false Israel. And then that's when it says, and they're going to be under so much, they're going to be so bad, they're going to start crying, then they're going to turn to Jesus, and then that's when Jesus, that's stuff they tell as this so-called rapture theory. That's the idea. They had it backwards. And when they finally called Jesus, that's when Jesus will come, he's going to kill all the Arabs and everything else. But then when it happens, they say, oh no, it's the other way around. Because that identify who they are. I said, I've been telling you, abomination desolation, I got presentation out there, specifically saying abomination desolation exactly when it was happening. I told you before it would happen, because it said it would happen, right? It said it would begin, abomination desolation would be preceded, right? But it says when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon them. Like a woman in labor. That means it'd be phases, right? Okay. What was happening in September 2020? Just Google it. Remember, Peace Road Initiative, Abraham Accord, Netanyahu, we're going to have peace, and Trump said we're going to have Abraham Accord, and everything is going to be beautiful. Remember that was September 2023? And then October, bam, abomination desolation. It said, when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction, that's abomination desolation. And so when you see that, no, their destruction is nigh. So that means the people that's causing the abomination desolation, their destruction. See, that's how they swear down. That means this world destruction is near. So now it's about to happen. So they will not escape. That's just expect to happen. Now I gotta get some background. So I'm I'm putting this together quickly. Got a lot of information out there, so you can go check it out. So I'm trying to do this clearly and distinctly as possible, brothers and sisters. Why is false Israel to begin with? Now, I'll get some background here. I'm going to spend a little time here today, brothers and sisters, but it's so much, it's hard to kind of departmentalize it. And, But let me watch more on the next page here, see what I got on the next page. Okay, we just showed that already. Okay. Was Israel, remember, in the Bible, the Christian Bible, it says they're not, those say Jews not, they're synagogue of Satan. Oh, how come they, that's what their Jesus says. And then he said, the confrontation he had with them says, no, you're not seed Abraham. It's your father, the devil. That's when they had to get him killed. So why he said, wait a minute, hold it. Yeah, God says they fake. He said in Revelations, it says in Matthew's, in Luke. So why they with him? It says it right there. It says, no, you ain't for real. Your father's the devil. Right? And on top of that, the so-called Jews, they hate their Jesus and in their Talmud. Don't take my word for it. Everything I say you can check out. The Talmud says their Jesus is in hell boiling in shit. That's what it says. That's what they believe. That's their Talmud. That's one of their holy books. They said, what's going on here then? So they was at each other's throat for 2,000 years. You know, when they had when the Moors, remember Moors, black people out of Morocco, they converted to Islam, Prophet Muhammad's Islam. They took control of Spain and I think northern Italy for about 700-800 years. And that's where they kept Spain out of the so-called Dark Ages, that's chapter 20 of Revelations. That's their history. They got to tell you it's the futures of millennia. That's say they come out to see the world. I need to focus. There's so much stuff here, bro. It says anyway. The thing is that they civilized them pretty much. But the point is, I mean, they civilized the Europeans, right? Because they had them taking baths, and because the other Europeans wasn't doing that, disease, everything else. But the fake Jews, they used to run to there because the Moors protect them from the other Christians. The Christians and Jews at each other. I'm going to say Jews, but that's not, to keep it simple. When I say Jews, I'm right. Because they say Jews, put it like that. So they ran to Spain because the Moors protect them from the Europeans. So they was at each other's throat for 2,000 years. And then back at about 100 years ago, about 90 years ago, right, in the 30s, World War II, it finally came to a head. They was going to get rid of all of them. They was going to burn them all up. And all the Europeans was on board with that. Nobody was, I can tell you all kinds of stories to prove it, right? They didn't care if Hitler got rid of them. They was on board with it. The most popular, it wasn't a Billy Graham type guy. The most popular preacher in America at the time, he was like a national guy. He was like a big Billy Graham type guy. He was totally anti-Semitic. He was totally against them. See? And when those that escaped, like he had Einstein, Albert Einstein, those guys, they got when they saw Hitler coming on the scene, they got the hell out of there because they believed what he said he was going to take care of them, right? That's North Star together. See, I go down that road and I go on that road, right? The thing is that once Hitler got in control and he started exterminating them, some of them escaped. And they got some ships or whatever to come over here, and America turned them around. Wouldn't let them come in because they knew they were sending back their death. So they didn't care about them. Think about that. They hate them. They didn't get in World War I to World War II to help them. They got in World War II because Hitler made a mistake attacking Britain. Britain and America was like, two peas in a pod. He hadn't done that. Didn't nobody care what he was doing over there. America didn't get involved. The public didn't want to get involved. They didn't care about them. So what happened? Well, what did change? One day they was kicking their ass, the next day was licking their ass. So what the hell, how does that happen? What was that all about? Suddenly, overnight. See? Because you had somebody come on the scene, the messenger says, hey, they're fake. The people here are the real Israel. And we got the proof. We got the 400-year history. We got depression. We got the fact we both in boats, exactly like it says. And they can't have them knowing that. Because these guys dying. In Christianity, got us blind and deaf and dumb. They want to keep us like that. They want to unite. Read what's getting it. They were afraid we unite. He said, let's do it shrewdly. I mean, shrewdly in a way they won't see it coming. right? Because that was their fear. We unite, come together. Because they said we were stronger than them, come together and fight against them and lead the country. And so they keep us from. So Elijah Muhammad, people that have vision perished. He gave us that vision. No, your vision. You don't have to stay here. You got a promised land. God has promised you a promised land. Remember when they killed Martin Luther King. As soon as he went to see Mr. Elijah, we got the picture. He went to see Elijah. Elijah convinced about this promised land. He got a promised land speech. He was dead the next day. But they didn't want you to know about that. They want you to think that you're supposed to be ham, you're supposed to be niggas, you're supposed to be slaves forever. But then you say, you see the Abraham, and you're the chosen people, and God's going to protect you. After 40 years, he's going to punish those people. He's going to start the judgment against people that was doing stuff to you, and they're going to take you home. Now, I'm going to divert a little bit here. 1619 to 2019, isn't that 40 years? 1619, official start date, right? It's 20 years. And so the judgment will start right after that, right? When did COVID happen? Exactly, the beginning of 2020. And it wasn't killing original black people, it was killing the skin folk. There was black-faced children, right? But it wasn't, because Africa was not affected by it. Black Africa was not, they hid it, but now it finally came out. Go check the World Health Organization and tell you Black Africa was not affected by COVID. They didn't have to do social distancing, none of that stuff. Neither was Haiti. Only European countries, everybody else. As I said, it'd be a plague. One of the plagues would be a plague to kill the firstborn, the elderly, pass over the real true Abraham. It was kicking false Israel in the ass. See? Exactly, like I said. So, but Elijah wasn't around for that proof. But the point is, he said, and it was uniting people. We start having a vision. And and they had to stop that. See? And that's why he kept the idea plan to stop that. When it once got rid of Elijah, they put fire contact. We ain't going nowhere. And all this stuff. You're sinful. That's his part he play. That's why he see any of this coming. But he's talking to God. He see any of this coming. That's his job, to keep us son of perdition. But that's why they put that up there. So they say, oh no, that's not. See, because it was Elijah Muhammad that was thinking Elijah Muhammad. He said eyes. I said yes, because they said, oh no, we got to prove that false Israel is the real ones. See, because we can have these niggas find out that they're God's chosen people. So that's why all of a sudden they was kicking their ass, burning their ass up. Next day was licking their ass. Oh, that's what happened. That's what happened. So they set them up as a proof. See, they went home, all this stuff. See, they got to be the ones won. Took our vision away, and the Farrakhan come to seal the deal. He put the nail in the coffin. Oh, see, because the promise is, the reward, the promise was going home. He said, no, you ain't going nowhere. They're calling God a liar. That's his job. You understand? So you understand. That's why it's set up. So you understand that part. You understand that part. You understand, well, why America protects him no matter what he do. Because you got to keep that up there. Because as long as they're up there, we don't have a vision. What's our vision as a people? We don't have one. American Dream, which we never get. They put these stupid movies on lately where you got people like Kevin Hart. They got bathrooms big as a mansion. A bathroom is big as your whole damn house. They do $1 billion deals and stuff. You know, that's bullshit. Everybody's doing great. I don't know any black folks like that or living like that. There might be a few, but they make it like everything's great. Interracial, all these ads and stuff. See? But they got to keep you thinking that, hey, you're going to get that. You're never going to get it. You've been here 40 years, you haven't got it yet. But they got to keep you. American Dream, remember, dream is something that when you wake up, only good while you sleep. You wake up, you find it's not real. See? Because ask them, what vision is Farrakhan giving you? American Dream, stay here. Devils ain't devils anymore. Just try to be a good man. That's you don't have a vision. So they took the vision away. Elijah Muhammad gave you a vision. See? They took his job, Farrakhan's job, take that vision away. So that's why falsehood is there. But the point is, when they return, right, they'll never be lifted, taken, removed once they return home. Now, return home was to Arabia, not to Palestine. It tells you exactly where it is between River Euphrates and the River of Egypt, which is, look on the map. So how come, and then Mr. Ambassador Huckabee spilled the beans. I've been telling you for years. I says, their main purpose is to take Arabia. I said they can't see it because the Sunnis will go crazy. And then Huckabee just said it. That's a big uproar. He said it last week. I think it was last week. Oh, well, they should have had the whole thing. Oh, that caused a big stir in the Middle East. See? Because they can't have you talking about taking Arabia, man. The Sunnis will go insane. That's their goal. Understand that. That's their goal. Now, why is that their goal? Because they know, I'm going to take a little time here. Go slow, brothers and sisters, with this. They know that the only reason they're there is to keep us blind. They know the Christians still don't like them. They still hate them. But they know they need them to keep us blind. Okay? So it's like, you got two brothers, and they fight with each other all the time. And then a neighbor comes in, a bully, start bullying. So now they say they join together to beat the bully up. Right? And then once they get rid of the bully, they start fighting each other again. See? That's the thing. So the Christians and Jews, they got together to keep this, because we're enemy to both of them. We're enemy to both of them. So, now they need each other to keep us from rising. You see? But once we rise, but until they get rid of us, once they get rid of us, then they go back at each other again. And Jews know this. And that's part of what's going to the Epstein files. Because the point is, they can masquerade around as the regular Christians. Like regular white folk, they are Caucasian. See? So what they was doing, this side of the sex stuff, right? A little came out a little bit. Then when they had Elon Musk and somebody was talking about black folks when they was talking about them. See? What they really think about is what they planned to say, they was truly what they was talking, and the false Jews recorded it. They pretend it was like one of the Christians, whatever. They recorded all that stuff. They know exactly what they have planned against us. And you see it operating around right now, this so-called immigration, all that stuff is, and genocide, all that stuff is, I'll be hours if I go try to explain all that stuff, brothers and sisters. The thing is that they know that. And so they record it. And that's what they're using to blackmail. That's some of the stuff they're holding in the Epstein file they won't release. Because the point is that will get you enraged because now they realize how they really think about you. Or they say nice things in public, but how they really think about you. What they really plan for you. It says they're going to come to you as a snare. See? So that's part of the blackmail aside from the sexual stuff. So the thing is that because why they did that? Because remember, they're desperate. People call it Jews as desperate. Because they know the only reason why America support them to keep us blind. They know once they get rid of us, they come back after them again. So therefore they said we gotta do something about that. So they stole the secrets of America to build a nuclear weapon. When Kennedy found out about it, he had him killed. He tried to stop it. But remember, they don't want them to be powerful. They want them to be, they're only supposed to be a sign. To keep us from understanding. That's the only purpose they're supposed to have. Not to be powerful or anything like that. And America got to support them to make sure that sign stays up there. That false vision stays up there. See? And the Jews know they America got to do support no matter what they do, because they got to keep us blind. You understand? Okay, so They got the nuclear weapons. And so, the next step, that's phase one. Phase two is they got to take control of the Middle East. Because the Europeans, especially Europeans, so America was too, but America said, hey, we got to deal with this. Because America and Europe was totally dependent upon oil from the Middle East, totally dependent. America still dependent, not as much as it used to be. Because they got rid of their strategic petroleum reserve. Biden did that, but anyway, that's another story. But they're not as efficient as they try to tell you they are. Right? But Europe is totally, and so they was dependent upon oil from Russia. But now they got the conflict with Russia, so that's cut off. So only oil, source of oil is in the Middle East. That's why chapter 18 says a total economic collapse. Right? Okay. So Arabia knows, and false Israel knows, they got to take control of all that oil. They control the whole Middle East. That's why they're knocking all these countries off. The last one that they don't mention is Arabia. But they can't mention that one. That's the one thing that will unite the Sunnis. That's the one thing we unite them. You telling me you're going to take Saudi Arabia? Oh, because see, they're all divided now. When you take that's one, they can't say that. But that's the objective, because that's what Huckabee just said that. He's ambassador over there. He just told Tucker that's the objective. And they got an uproar in the Middle East. They go, hey, man. I said, y'all didn't figure it out by now? That's why the scripture says Ishmael is dumb. He's like a donkey. Donkey of a man, stupid. To the Arabs. See, you see it coming? They're taking all your little countries away. You think the final objective is? But see, the point is, they know they cannot take Arabia as long as Iran is there. Iran's too powerful. You understand? Iran's too powerful. And so, if you understand, well, I'm not. I was going to go on something else. The point is that was their game plan. Like I said, I got a whole presentation. I did the dilemma. A couple of years ago, I explained it in detail like I'm explaining it now. I said the dilemma is that once they took us out, they got to take us out. I'm going to explain that to you in a minute, right? Got to take us out. Once they take us out, right, then they was going to let Iran they was going to ban the false Israel and let Iran take them out. But they want them around either. They don't want them. Remember, they want them eradicated. That's the only problem here. Hitler. The only two problems here. Hitler is that he went against Britain. He didn't finish the job of taking them out. Well, that's worth giving a little background on this. I don't want to get too distracted here. This is a little point that they don't tell you. Back in World War I, Britain promised they was losing the war in World War I to Germany. So they went to the Jews in Germany. I say Jews, right? Quote. That if you betray your country, tell secrets and all that stuff, but we'll give you Palestine, because at that time the British had control of it. And so the Jews were along with that. They betrayed Germany. Germany lost World War I. They had to pay reparation. The economy was totally devastated. Totally. Hitler was he was a corporal, I think, during World War I. Germany was totally devastated because the Jews had betrayed their own country to help Britain. And that's how he lost the war. This is a fact. You want to take my word for it, it's a fact. So Hitler vowed revenge. Right? So he started, became a political thing, and he was gaining momentum, and he had to throw him in jail. When he was in jail, he wrote this book called Mein Kampf, means my battle. And there he said what he's going to do to the Jews for they betrayed their country. He said what he was going to do. It's in there. You can get the book. It's online. You get the book. I'm sure you can get an English version. He said what he's going to do to them. That's why Einstein got the hell out of it. They believed him. And then he came in power. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. But people said, he ain't going to do that. He wouldn't do stuff like that. He did it. Now, any other country on the planet would done the same thing. People that betrayed their country and caused them to lose the war, they call them traitors, and they would execute them. They would execute them. And that's what he was doing. He wasn't killing them just because they were Jews or they didn't like them. But the reason why, because they wanted to get him out of the country. That's the bottom line. They want him around. Everybody can persecute him, because every time they got in, they would take control. Long story. But the point is that that's why they was killing them, because they betrayed the country and caused Germany to lose World War I and total economic disaster and everything else. That's why they don't tell you that part. They say, oh, they were just killing innocent people. No, they was executing them because they betrayed their country and caused Germany to lose World War I. That's a fact. Don't take my word for it. Go check it out. See, they don't tell you that. So they make it look so sympathetic. But if you knew that fact, you say, well, hell, they're getting what they deserve. They deserve that, because America would do the same damn thing. In fact, all the stuff they tell about Vultures doing in America, that's history. And let me move on. So get back to what I was saying, right? So they put them up there to keep us from having that vision. And so false Israel knows, and that, if you, like I said, you don't have to see the wind, or you can see the leaves blowing, and you know there's wind blowing. And you can tell the direction by the way the leaves are moving. So right now, they know Trump, his whole plan is to get rid of us. And I got to explain that in a minute. They know they run out of time. So they got to get power before it. That's why there's such a rush to take the Middle East. Because they get control of that oil. Then they got control of Europe, because they got them by the you know what. See? And they have the world under that. So now they invent, they got nuclear weapons, they got all this economic power. Then they feel now they're protected from the Europeans, the Christians. See? Because Huckabee and all these guys, they told me they love him so much. They know, that and they're telling me, they know in there that they saying, they're Jesus, they're God. That's what the Jews are saying. Their God's in hell, boiling in shit. His own shit, that's what they say. They know it. So why they so love him? Why they love him so much they love their Jesus? See, it's all a scam. That's why they got it back. Everything false Israel does to keep us in that false vision. Keep us seeing that they're the real ones, so that destroys the vision Elijah Muhammad gave. And on that point, they keep trying Elijah Muhammad, last messenger. Just read Malachi. Can you read? There's two messengers in there. It's the messenger, and then the messenger covenant comes in the messenger's temple. He's the last one. See, that's part of this, the game. Keep you from understanding what's going on, because they don't want you to see recognize the messenger covenant when he shows up. They never talk about the messenger covenant, do they? But it says it right there. That's the one that you should be seeking. Anyway, let's move on. You understand? So that's why they got support no matter what, and that's why false Israel in a rush. They got to take Iran out. Once they get Iran out, there's nothing to stop them taking over the Middle East. Nothing. That's what's going on there. You understand? And that's why the rush is on, because what you're doing right now, they're coming at us. You see, when if you have a football game or whatever, you have a boxing where you got to train, right? Usually train on a dummy or a stand-in, right? You don't deal with the real thing. You got something similar, because you're getting ready to prepare you for what you're ready to do. So where's America involved right now? Where's involved? They're involved in round up people who are called aliens, but America's really, that's one of the things they're doing, right? Getting people, ICE, learn to round up people. America's responsible for what's going on in Gaza, because false Israel could not do that if America wasn't applying the guns and ammunition and everything else. They couldn't do it. And America getting the political power in the UN, they couldn't do it if America's the one. They're just pulling the trigger. America's saying, kill him. Here's the gun. We had the protection and everything, because they couldn't do it without America. America's the one doing it. That's genocide. They get, and over and here, the enemy is not talking about it, because they're all on board. Why are they not talking about it? It's so clear. They're getting the people acclimated to genocide and round up people. And then they got another one. They say prisoners. Who's mostly in the prison, American prisons? Black folks. And now they got a thing now where they can say, you can take American prisoners and take down El Salvador, put in prison down there, get rid of them. Now you can round up people, that's ICE. And remember they did a little trial thing. Then they backed off because it was getting too clear. In Michigan, What was that about? Trump even said it. There were Somalians and black Africans. Remember? And then it got quiet because I spoke out on it. See? That's and these attention, they don't need attention anymore. They can just take this, the immigrants and take them out here. They don't need, so why are they building all these detention centers to put you in? Why are they doing that? Because they getting everybody prepared to close on you. Now, why do they need to close on you? See, they don't want you to know these things. There are all kinds of ways to keep you distracted. They said, come at the way they would deal them shrewdly, where they won't see it coming. That's what shrewdly is, not wisely. You say, okay. See, while you watch NFL, a lot of us watch NFL, can't even spell NFL. You say, hey, how you spell NFL? Gotta go look at the calculator. You know what a tariff is? Okay. China makes the best electrical car on the planet. For 1/3 the price of what the car made here. Because they use AI and robots and stuff to do it. It's the best one on the planet. And it costs like 1/3 the price. So how come they don't come here? They come here. Everybody be buying them. It's the best one on the planet. It's the best car on the planet. See? Because they can make them cheaper because they don't need human labor. But here they got to pay for it. So when Trump put a tariff on it, they don't tell you explain tariff. He says, okay, if you paying $6,000, let's say you're paying $6,000 for a car here. Say $30,000, I don't know. Say $30,000 for a car here, right? Well, the Chinese car would only cost $10,000. It's a better car. It's electrical. So he put a $20,000 tariff on it. So it costs the same much as regular. So you know that's why he's doing that, because they put tariffs because they can't compete with all these other countries that's using AI robots, because they got to pay you. They got to keep you employed, or you're gonna go crazy. You ain't gonna sit and just starve. I can't think of that guy ran for president from Texas. I think the last election. And I reported asked about this. I said, what are you going to do about jobs with AI? He said, we're going to send everybody a check. You believe that? They're going to send you a check. You're going to lay back home and just get a check now? They don't need you anymore. They don't need you flipping burgers anymore. They don't have that in China stuff. They don't need you flipping burgers, and they don't need you doing that kind of stuff anymore. The kind of job that you do, they don't need you doing it no more. Now they're trying to make movies where you're doing $50 billion deals and stuff. That's bullshit. They got to get rid of you so they can compete with the rest of the world. So they go AI, full AI. They already got it. They already got, but they can't put them in because you lose. You've been to Walmart lately, easing it on. You've been there what lately? You've been there lately? You've been some of these. What happened to all the people that used to be in working there now? Used to be on the counters and stuff. They don't need you. That's a big lie about slavery. They didn't stop slavery. They call it slavery. Slavery, we didn't go through winter Holocaust. Look up the definition of slavery. Slavery doesn't mean rape, murder, terrorism. See, that's a nice name they give it. See, winter Holocaust. But they didn't stop because they felt bad about it. They stopped because they had the Industrial Revolution. They didn't need you in the fields anymore. They won't tell you that way. They're trying to make it look good. Oh, we felt, after 100 years, oh, we just felt bad for them, so we freed them. No. Did they give you 4 eggs in a meal? They give you that stuff? Right away starts guilds and apprenticeships and unions immediately after the war to stop you. Because what happened, the slave master, he didn't need you in the field anymore. The Industrial Revolution had the cotton gin, that kind of stuff. So he was taking you and putting you in the factories. They used to call them plants. It was too close to plantations, so he stopped calling them plants and started calling them factories. He used to call them plants. So he was sending his slaves up into the plants. And if they was paying $10 a person an hour, he would get slaves say, well, you can give them $1 an hour. Who wouldn't go for that, man? I say, oh, I'm saving 1,000%. I only got to pay them $1 an hour. I get 10 of these for one of these persons. And the other, it wasn't just north of me. Harry Tubman was slaved in New York. So stop this shit about, oh, it's just the North, the South doing it. It was all over the country. He was a slave in New York, not Georgia. Harry Tubman. So the thing is that they would send him in there. So, and the other white folks say, man, we can't compete with that, man. We need those jobs. They try to make a deal where it says, okay, you can only do it, you just do it on the coastal countries like, New Jersey, Carolinas, and so forth, right? But you can't go out west. And they say, hell no, we got states right, we go there, where we want to do it. That was the comment. And South refused to do that. So they said South, but because New Jersey was a slave state too. So anyway, they refused to do it. So then that's what broke out the Civil War. It was an economic situation. They wanted to stop them putting compete with slave labor. And then once the war was, and then the thing is, they was losing the war. Lincoln was losing the war to the Confederates, and somebody told Lincoln, why don't you tell these niggas that if they help fight, right, that we'll free them. That's what in mass pay. This is history, brothers and sisters. They said, okay, that's what he did. So that's the extra troops helped them defeat it. Then once it's over, you don't have no soldiers. Most end up in a concentration camp and starve to death. That's a fact. They said took the gun. That's where it came with the gun laws, because they didn't want niggas to have guns. Okay? And then you was thrown out in the street. You have nothing. Yeah, nothing. You get a 40 mule. They didn't need you anymore. Okay? So they had the Black to Africa movement, all this kind of stuff going on. Marcus Garvey and all this stuff. Man, try to get the hell out of here. Anyway, you keep that in mind. So they didn't. So now you got the AI evolution. They don't need you. They absolutely don't need you for anything, nothing. They got to get rid of you. And they plan. The Bible tells you how they're going to do it. I'm not going into that kind of detail right now. They said throw you in the river, but you don't understand what that means. They get rid of you. That's what they plan on doing. Once that happens, then they have to go after them. That's why in a rush. That's why they see it's in motion right now. Right? Okay, let me talk about a couple of things, brothers and sisters. So you don't know these things. No. Detroit used to be like a mecca of industrial jobs. Right? They moved all those jobs to China. They want you to have them. They made China strong, trying to keep you from, because they said, if you got that, especially where Elijah's around, and you got economics, and you got this knowledge, man, no. They said it, right? Okay. And then, now I went to this program myself after Elijah departed, right? Right. I had nothing because Farrakhan, they destroyed everything. They destroyed Islam, robbed it of all the money, left us with nothing. That's a fact. I'm not going to dwell on that right now. I was walking down the street one day and this brother walked in and said, man, you want to get computers? Why not? I mean, I've been in the military, right? So I looked ahead, nothing. So I said, so they had this program, thing called standard industrial codes. And there's a code for every kind of industry they have. So if you a truck driver, you have a SIC code. You may not know what it is, but your tax man person knows what it is, because I think they have to put that on their tax forms, because it tells you what industry that you working with. So when this time computers was coming online, they didn't have computers when Elijah was around. And so they had computers. So when a new industry comes along, they do a demographics. Demographics go find what big people. Like they say a new industry is like modeling. The demographics, well, women the best do modeling, so we're going to start training women for this industry. If that's a new industry, right? You see what I'm saying? To get the people ready for it, so they be on top of it. So they did demographics on computers. They say computers come online, a new industry, right? And they found that black people, this is a fact, but it was tied to music or something, be best programmers. Be the best at programming. Now, Carter was president at the time, right? And so he started this program, right? And I'm not speaking well of him. I'm just saying, and that's why I didn't get reelected, right? He had this program, Urban League administered the program. They was the one that got people. They would bring black folks in, like that guy recruited me. I was walking down the street, he asked me. IBM provided equipment and the instructors, right? And the industry around that was going to start computerizing, they agreed to take the top 10% to come out of this class because Urban League, sponsored the class, but I said IBM provided equipment and the teachers. And the Urban said they're hiring the top 10% to come out of that class, right? They would hire. And so they would go out and recruit black people. I went through the class, it was a 3-month class, and they paid you while you was going. I went through and I made sure I came out #1 with my name, Raheem, right? I made sure I was #1. Make sure I had a job, right? So I went through it, I did come out first in the class, I did. And so that was it. And then Reagan came on the scene and said, the hell with that shit. That's a crucial industry. We had these niggas knowing that stuff. Now, at that time, you couldn't find the Indian in this country. Only Indians we ever knew, because I live in, I'm from New Jersey, right? And if you go over to New York, you pass through Jersey City. And like they used to have like a little bazaar somewhere. Indians they would have stuff on the streets, selling whatever. I don't know what they was doing. I remember as a kid seeing that. That's only, and I didn't know it was Indians. I just knew it was different. They wore the Indian dress and stuff. I didn't even know what it was, but I remember in hindsight, wasn't it? And then once that happened, Reagan came on. Then it came this movie. You can look up this movie. It's called I'm Alive #5. That's the name of it. I'm Alive #5. And the idea of the movie was this Indian guy, right? He took and built this computer and then made it come alive. Man, this guy got to be real smart. They just same thing with karate. Most Chinese don't know anything about no damn karate. They made him look strong by putting the karate move to everybody. So you get in a fight with a Chinese person, you're scared to death. You think you're going to karate your ass. Most of them don't know anything about damn karate. Right? That's the media. Like how they portray us as niggers and everything else. That's no story altogether. I'm a divert. So he said, "No hell with that." But see, there are people not good at it. Because I had my own business as a contractor. There are people not, that my main, I was my own business contractor, and most contractors would call me to fix shit that these white folks had put together and didn't work. I worked on breaking the AT&T up. When they broke that up in New York, I worked a lot of, when they ordered they took in automated UPS. I worked on that project because before they was just doing everything manually. So I did a lot of things. But anyway, I had my own contract, and I was doing this, and I was sharp. They still want me now, but this is my main focus. I still get email all the time. Hey, man, we got this, we got that. Even when COVID came out, there's an old system that nobody knew anymore, and I still knew it because that was one of the systems I worked on, COBOL. Most people know it. Most of the states were still using that old system. And so they was calling, man, because they need to build up because for all the stuff doing with COVID. I could have made $1 million, man. Hey, man, we get $80 an hour, $100, $200 an hour to come in. I said, man, I'm working on this. Right. Anyway, so it wasn't any in the country. So they came. So everybody said, hey, man, these guys, man, these Indians are really smart. See, people didn't know about the idea that they found that black folks were the best programmers. They knew about that. They didn't publicize that. Okay. So all of a sudden, Reagan shut that program down and then started bringing Indians in here. The next best. Bestness after us. It was better than them, but not as good as us. So that's now it's flooded with them. So in other words, they gave you industrial jobs to China. They couldn't send the AI jobs over to India, so they brought Indians over here. They both taking to keep you from getting those jobs, and then start building prisons for you. 3 strikes law and that kind of stuff. See, you don't pay attention to stuff going in the background. That's what's going on. See? Okay, so I'm just giving you some background. So and that's part of putting you in prison, locked, Then came out with crack and AIDS. All this is attacking. AIDS is still an epidemic in the black community. Don't take word for it, check it out. They don't talk about it anymore, do they? Remember Tuskegee experiment? But they don't want you to know this stuff. Remember, they come into Shuley because they said the more they did, the more you the more you multiplied. Went crazy. They was going crazy. Man, damn! The more we try to destroy them, the more they multiplied. At any rate, that's the deal. So now they come with a plan. They got it. AI right now. They definitely, the competition, economic competition is too great. They got to get rid of you. They got to go AI. And it means you won't have any jobs. And they know that you go crazy if you do that. So they got to figure out a way to just. And COVID was part of that. Well, I may as well speak to it. COVID was designed to take you out. It backfired. You know how it backfired? Because they test on demons. See, demons are Caucasians with black skin. They're master children, but black skin. They're rape children. You are the seed of your father. So we got half of the blacks in America are resulted of rape. If it's 34 million, 17 million original. That's why in the letter says 17 million. Even when it wasn't 17 million when mass problem was around. So why using them 17 million? Because at this time, it'd be 17 million that's really original. The other 17 million are demons. They wolves in sheep clothing. They may look like us, but look how they talk. Hey, I love America. I want to do all this stuff. America. See how Farrakhan I talk. I love America. White folks ain't demons. I mean, they're like, but they talk just like devils. Just look like us. Okay. So understand that. So that's one of the problems we have here. Okay. So the thing is that, let me get back to the computer thing. So they put, okay, I don't want to mix things up here. They have to get rid of us. Okay? They don't need us anymore. Right? So that's their plan. So when I was talking about COVID, is that they test on COVID, so it was taken on their own people. There's blackface, and so it was killing them. So hey, it's working, and they put it out there. It backfired because it was supposed to be killed. Because remember how when it first came out, it was killing black people. Remember how they push it up? It's killing black people. Black people need to be worried, and it was epidemic in the black community. And that wasn't a lie, because it was meant, they was preparing you for if you got it, man. That was just problem with just being black. That black people was getting it. And it wasn't that wasn't the case. They played up like black folk was getting black folks getting cold. That's how they played it. They was dropping like flies. Because they were playing psychologically. We see black folks not go like that, so you think it's just something wrong with you. You know, that's why you're more susceptible to it. But that wasn't the case. They was the one dropping like flies. But back, they realized, oh, damn, it's supposed to be killing them, it's killing us. They tested on their own people with blackface. It was killing them. See? It was meant to get rid of you. And then those shots you took, how many, I know a lot of black folks who took those shots, a lot. They died from the shots or got even the shots itself killed them. The whole plan. There are other plans. See, I can't go into all of them right now, but says maybe tomorrow. Right? I'm gonna move on. There's just so much to say here, brothers and sisters. Like they had the plan about throwing you in the river. That was rule. Anyway. That's the plan, to get rid of you. They got to get rid of you. The falsehood knows that. And they're pushing the plan. So now they got really aggressive now. Because they're getting ready to commit genocide here. Remember, Trump, he says he's not going to obey the court. He's not going to obey anything. He says right now he's starting this war over there, and he didn't get congressional approval. He says, remember, so nobody said anything. Because they know his plan is to get rid of us. See? Then they'll say after get rid of us, oh, he was a bad guy. Right? But we'll be gone. That's the plan. Also knows it. He said, trying to move it, closing in on you. Look at these things. I mean, just look at these things going on around you. You don't see it? Closing in on you. Okay? So that's what falsehood is saying. They know about this. They trying to get power before. So when that happens, they're protected. But see, Master Muhammad has a different plan. They have a plan. So Allah has a plan. They have a plan. Allah is the best of planners. Allah is Master Muhammad in this case. Michael was angels. So they're going to, it's going to backfire. False Israel, when the siege goes down, people are going to realize they're not the true seed of Abraham. That false vision will be destroyed. That's the vision that's blocking us from our true vision. Because they say, no, that's them. Remember, they put their vision blocking our vision. If their vision goes away, our vision shows up. All of a sudden, we realize we're true seed of Abraham. And then we unite under that. That's why it says, once they destroy it, America goes behind it, then we birth more in this nation. Why both happen at the same time? Why does one destruction cause other birth? You understand? That's what's going on. Okay? That's what's going on right now. Okay? So when false Israel, American Britain, they lay false Israel, they on siege. That's going to cause that vision to be destroyed, that false vision. At that time, there were black folks, that people are sitting dark, seeing the great light. At that time, that's when Suleiman, right? Farrakhan and his, that's what it says, look it up. Look at Exodus. When did this happen? Happened during a time of war. It says they heard a time of, heard a sound of war, but not a sound of victory or defeat. That's what's happening right now, because while the war is going on, that's when Moses separated the true seed from Farrakhan and his followers. He said he went to Aaron's camp, Farrakhan's camp, and says, those with the Lord, with message of the covenant, he's the Lord, right? Come on, those with the Lord, come with me. That means the rest stay with Aaron, Farrakhan. And then he had those that came with him, wipe out the ones that were Aaron, Farrakhan. It's right there. But in a time of war right now, what's going on right, that's what you're going to see happening right now. Because in a few more days, how long is this war going to last? A day, a week or so? It's not going to last very long. But while it's going on, right? Because stuff going on in Nation of Islam right now. But you got friction going on there right now. That's why they're lying, stuff they're doing. They get desperate to try to keep. Remember, if you go to their website, if you go there on Sundays, there's nobody in there. They put men every other seat, just make the place look like it's full. But he got Mean Man March. He can't even fill his own main temple. You got more people in the storefront churches than you have in there. And they lying. He's already now it's Master Muhammad. For years was the originator. But they're desperate because they got division going on there. They can't explain the stuff. And they're about to be taken down. It says, because remember doing it, okay, I show you about Exodus, right? But what it says during this war in chapter 12, it says that's when the accuser of our brethren be cast down at the same time during the war. Who's accusing? Who's accusing black people? Who's accusing Nation of Islam? Farrakhan. You're Sylvia, wicked. You're no good. You gotta listen to me. Remember me, man, Forrest? Raise your hand. I'm gonna stop stealing. I'm gonna stop killing. I'm gonna stop pimping. I'm gonna stop. So he embarrassed you. But that's the stereotypes they put you in the movies. That's not us. That's when you bear witness to it. By you saying that, you say, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stop doing it. If you say stop doing something, means you've been doing it. That means the stereotypes they were saying about you are true. That's why it's a mean man farce. And you went along with that. And 99% of people wasn't even with him. They was with the preachers. He told them, raise your hand. Say, I'm going to stop being a nigger. That means if you say, I'm going to stop being a nigger, that means you're a nigger. And you didn't catch on to that one? He's the accuser. So he's cast down. That's what you're going to see. Definitely in March. Definitely in March. No definite ifs about it. March will next tomorrow. Right? That's what you're going to see in the month of March. Farrakhan kiss, and all those clowns were they're cast down. When thrones are cast down, and he's now. When thrones are cast down, and each day is set, that means he's taking over something, and whoever's clothed there before is cast out. Same story. Farrakhan, they're going there. They exposed. That's the chaff that's thrown out, separated from the wheat, thrown out. There's also in Mark. Son of Man showed up. The believers came to him. Says they have nappy hair and wool hair. That's not Master Muhammad. And then it says Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, NOI backwards. That's Farrakhan. They're going to argue about the G. Louis Eugene Legion. Louis Eugene Grounds turn NOI backwards. NOI Legion. ION. And he says he knew who the Son of Man was. Because he said, please don't stop tormenting me. Because he was getting ass kicked. He said, please don't make me leave the country. That's what Farrakhan says. He don't want to leave here. Same story. That's what you're going to see in March. This month. Well, March is next tomorrow, I believe, right? What's the date? Yeah, I believe March is tomorrow. You're going to see. The month of March. Right? Right here, it says, there'll be silence in heaven. Remember the war in heaven? But about half an hour. That means approximately, be either 5 months or 6 months. Won't be 5 or 7 months. Going to be 6 because it's about. That war took place in June. And then there'd be a silence. That's what it was. The silence. I'm talking about it. About around 7 months. I think it'd be 5 or 7. And what? And then it will start back up. Start right back around time. End of December, beginning of January. That's when they attack Iran again with riots and all that kind of stuff. See? And now, wars continue. And that's the war in heaven. That's what's going on right now. That's what accused Farrakhan be cast down. Now, when he's cast down, right? Remember, America and Britain kicked out of the Middle East. Where they go? They run to Europe. They run to Europe. But what's Europe like at this point? At this point, Europe is in trouble because Europe, that's what it says, chapter 18, had total economic collapse. Because when the Iranians take over all, they cut Europeans off because they was backing America in this war. So they cut Europeans off. So now they have total economic collapse. Total. Because they can't get oil from Europe, from the Middle East, and they can't get from Russia. So they can't even fight a war. They have no oil or anything. They can't even fight a war. But they're allies with America. Now, America got tens of thousands, I don't know, maybe 100,000, I don't know, they got, maybe I have to look it up. They got tens of thousands of troops in Europe. More than that, I believe. I probably need to look. Let me take a look at this real quick, bro. Sisters. I keep saying I'm going to do this and I keep forgetting. Let me see if I can look at this real quick. Sisters, I'll tell you what. Oh, boy. 1 second here. There you go. Come on. I don't know, bro. Since I could just a rough guesstimate. Looks over 50,000. Add them all up. I had them to give you count, but I didn't get a total. But I said add them up, quick add up. I think it's about 50,000. That's a lot of troops, right? So what happens is that Germany has no choice. They have to make nice with Russia, otherwise the economy is gone. And the citizens going to kill them. So they make nice with Russia to get oil from Russia to do their economies again. What does that mean? Now they ally with Russia against America. And now all American troops are in trouble because now they're against them. Remember, because now they're so now they're attacking American troops. So now America's got to rush to Europe to protect their troops. The troops also in trouble because remember they ain't getting oil either because they was getting oil from the Europeans. So now they got to rush, and in rush they got to send the military there to protect their troops or to get their troops or whatever they have to do. That's what Armageddon is. That's Armageddon. It's a European war. And when they do that, right, they have to take oil there to fight with and also to supply their troops. That means they don't have to commandeer the oil here in America. That's available. That's why it's Strategic Petroleum Reserve, SPR. But they don't have much of that because Biden got rid of most of it. So that means they got to commandeer. That means you have economic collapse here. But they're going to have to, they got to decide whether they're going for civilian use or military use. And they don't want to lose their military because without military, America's in trouble. But they still got Russia there, they still got China there. That's what caused economic collapse here. That's what you're going to be seeing in the next 30 days. See? In addition to that, while Israel was going down, and as they see black folks about to start uniting. They had it. That's when they're going to attack you. That's when they're going to attack all black folks, not just the original. They ain't taking a chance. They're going to attack all. That's why it tells you in there. It says when you see that, flee. It says flee immediately. Don't go in your house get your baby. Don't go in your house get your coat. Don't do it. Just flee. Why would you? Because you're being panicked. That means the plan was already made. They ain't thinking about it. The plan's already made. That means everything was already set. Because if you got to flee like that and panic, that means the trap is already set. You ain't got time to think about it. You ain't got time to text, nothing. You got to run. Because you didn't pay attention. You didn't listen. That's why I'm warning you now. It's about to happen. Right? People lost because of lack of knowledge. That's what's about to happen. They're going to attack because they can't have you come together, especially in time of war. Because read what it said. It says they had to do this truly because their fear was that if you unite, war breaks out, you will take and fight on the side of the enemies and flee the country. That's exactly what. So they had to find a way to deal with that. So to get rid of you, it said throw you in the river. That I could explain, but that fits in there. But I'm not going to. That's another story altogether. That's what's happening. That's what you can look for in the month of March. Everything I tell you is happens like I told you. Okay. So somebody told me, "Oh, I lost my children really wasn't with me." But when Elijah was around, he told Mr. Yusuf Shah, he was the one that was just doing run the temple in Temple 2. They call where Ishmael's at now. But Mr. Yusuf Shah was the minister there. And he come in one night, after the service. We had service on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. We had FY meetings on Saturdays. But Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Now, we have more people on Wednesday and Friday, twice as many, than they have on their Sunday. Nobody's with Farrakhan anymore. We give him lip service. But anyway, he says, he said, the last president of America is going to be a black man. That's what Elijah said. Right? Before he departed. This is what he told Minister Yusuf Shah to tell us that. I remember that. I used to tell my children that. growing up, I said, Elijah said, the last president, and then Obama comes along. Right? Now, at this time, I done broke the seals of Injil. Understand Injil? It doesn't say that there. It says there will be a black man as a president, but it didn't say it would be the last one. But Elijah said the last one, and the fact that he even says there would be a black president was amazing. And then he showed up, and so, okay. So I was telling him, so I said, okay, Elijah said you're going to be the last one, so they all got religion, boy. They started getting to the temple and everything else, man. They got religion and everything else. And then he wasn't the last one. They abandoned me. I'm a false prophet and everything else. So, okay. I took a hit on that one. I should have stuck with the angel says. So Elijah was right. They would be a president, but he wasn't the last one. Because the last president of the United States to be a black man. Okay. But it says that was the sign of Jonah. Because Jonah's the only prophet that God told him to say something. He said it didn't happen. And that was the sign of Jonah was given to the devil. So that's the only sign given to them. Yeah, that sign was only given to them. The sign of Jonah. As a result, he stayed with 3 years, right, in the belly as well. With 3 years, that's no story. I can explain all that. You understand? So, but all these other signs, sign of abomination, that sign is given to you, because that's you the one to flee. You need to see that. That's what I'm telling you right now. That signs they never talk about, but that's exactly what happened. Abomination, desolation, and right after that, right, we come the war. Jerusalem surrounded by armies. It said, when you said flee, so it means they had to be preparing for you. They had to be preparing destruction, and that's when they pull the cord. That's when they pull the trigger. Think about it. Okay, this is America. That's what we're talking about, right? If they said, okay, at that time, tell the police go get him, or his army go get him, but then you'll see him coming. You wouldn't have to flee under those circumstances. You will see them coming. See? Oh, well, the army's coming. The police coming. If you got to flee in a pack like that, means they're already set there. They're already set. They're already there. They already surround you. They ride your door. If you got to flee, you flee in panic. See? I'm trying to avoid you to be free of, only be free of panic because you didn't see them coming. Those you don't see it coming, that's the ones going to flee in panic. Those you see it coming, listen to this and act, you will not be in flee in panic because you already be prepared. You're already out of the way. That's what I'm here to tell you. First of all, like I said, get a month's supply of food that you don't have to cook. Keep your eyes open. Right? Because before that happens, right? Pharaoh's people will be thrown out. And then the real Son of Man will be sitting right where I'm sitting right now. Okay? And if your eyes open, you see that, that's when you're going to make your move. Because the people said in darkness and the great light, that's just before the attack. So you don't have to flee it. But those you don't pay attention, that's when you have to flee. That's what I'm here to do for you. See, we have a solution here. They tell you stuff, first they're not talking. Why everybody quiet? Farrakhan, remember last week they talking about, they spent the whole time trying to justify Farrakhan. Because how can they tell me what's going on right now? They don't know. They're scared to speak. That's why Farrakhan, he said God told him shut up because he prophesied 3 years ago, Armageddon started. Why we have that? That was whole mission, whole thing on the so-called Savior Day. No Armageddon. So then he said, So then he said, well, God told me to shut up. But he's supposed to be the watchman. Because he don't know. Listen, I was talking about this last week. I was talking about this week before that, the month before that, a year before that. The presentation out there, what's happening right now, I've been talking about in detail. They don't talk, they don't know. They have no idea what's happening. They didn't see us coming. They didn't see us coming. See, that's what Farrakhan's all, whoa. None saw us coming. And they're going to be victims of it. They're going to get their asses burned up. But they can come running. We don't want them. They said they don't come running. They said, no. We're going to throw your ass in the fire. I said, but we've been national teeth. No, too late. Because he's out there telling that bullshit, collecting money and stuff, and you didn't know what the hell he was talking about because you was a false prophet, deceiving and confusing the people. So let me reiterate, right? Summarize. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later today. I'll probably be on again tonight, right? Because that's what's going on. You need to understand what's going on right now is that Iran's getting ready to drop the shit on them, a shitstorm, firestorm against a winter storm. How you think that's going to work out? We're going to hit them. It's like a whirlwind. They'll take their ships down. They're going to have America and Britain run out there with their ass on fire. They're going to run to Europe. And I told you how that works out, right? Because Israel's going to be on a siege. No food, no water. It says father be the son, son be the father. And something said it gets so bad, they be on the flesh. How can you eat your own flesh? Damn. That's what's about to happen there. See? When you see that itself right there, you know, it was lying to you. That's not true to Abraham. That means you are. But we got the problem with the demons that still mix in with us. Their purpose is to keep us confused. But they never understand this. Okay? You understand? So that's right. When that happens, during the time that's happening, remember when that happened, the separation takes place with Moses and Joshua. Remember, Joshua is the one. See, there's no place. Look on your don't take my word for it. Look in the manuscripts and find you see the name of Jesus anywhere. It's not there. It's only in the Bible that's translated from the Greek version. Because they did that to trick you, because they didn't want you to know Joshua is the Messiah. Because Essex tells you that. Because if Joshua come out from us, and Joshua would come on a time that was during Elijah's time. He wanted to come into Elijah's temple and take us home. So they made up this one called Jesus. Jesus. The only way you get, you have to translate the Greek first. But Zeus is the God of the heavens. But GE means earth. Geology, geometry, those are Greek words. The G has the earth. So they put G in front of Zeus. It means the God of the earth. Remember, G is supposed to be the God of the earth, right? That's where it came from. There's no such place. Look at the manuscripts. Aramaic, Hebrew, Arabic. The name of Jesus, not the name there is Joshua. Take my word for it. I give you $5,000, you prove me wrong. The name is Joshua. They tell you Jesus, that's something they made up. It don't exist. The name is Joshua. Joshua would be the one that comes to Elijah's temple. He'd be one to take you home. He's Suleiman, son of man, Suleiman. That's where it comes from. It don't mean you're all the son of a man. You're a son. Anyway, you understand? That's so the thing is that while the war's going on, before it ends, that being during this next month, during March, that's when separation takes place. The demons and separate from the saints. Kinfolk separate from the kinfolk. Right? That's when Pharaoh conquers. He's a demon, follows the devil. He's not seed of Abraham. The promise is to seed of Abraham. He's not seed of Abraham, he's follows the devil. And you can prove it. Just Google Farrakhan says his father may be a Jew. I think that's it. And he got a whole interview up there. He's admitting it. Understand? Hold on for a minute, bro. Since I think somebody's at second here. I'm back. The security issue. Always going to be, I tell you, anybody's, be careful. Security, watch out for security. It's going to get violent. Very violent in a minute. There's blood behind the horse's brow. Unprecedented trouble. When they say unprecedented means that means the worst trouble you've ever mentioned, there's ever been. That's what you're about to enter. But anyway, I'm getting prepared as much as I can. Understand what's about to happen. The war. It says the king of the north, Iran, will come at them like a whirlwind. They get ready. You're going to see it in a minute. So you can see things that happen step by step. So you see it. That should convince you. We're not here to convince you anything, actually, bro. So I'm just telling you, you give me information, you can do what you want to do with it. Okay? So, you see, the war, I told you, it happens just like I told you, on time. All the parties involved. Like I said, people saying, Saudi Arabia's on the American side. That's why they're attacking it. And now you see Sunnis and Shia are lined up against each other. Like I said. So, don't come at a whirlwind. Then you'll see America. You still got time. You still got time now. America, Britain kicked out. Was under siege. Right? You don't have to panic yet. Because the economy hasn't went down yet, but it's going to start getting bad. Right? But like I said, get your food right now while you can. Gas. If you can put some gas cans, I'll be careful with that because they will blow your car up. You won't have to move. If you're out there in Devil Land, I will get out of there. Okay? If you're out there in the suburbs, you're fleeing is going to go because you got to flee through the suburbs and you're going to be on somebody's dinner plate. Now, I've been telling you. So during the war, while it's going on, right? That's when falsehoods are going to be taken down. That's when Farrakhan's people are going to be cast out internally. They got divisions going on there right now. They got conflict going on there right now. They're trying to keep it quiet. Right? That's why every week they're trying to convince people, hold on to Farrakhan. Why you got to convince people holding Farrakhan? They would hold on to him already. You had to do it with Elijah Muhammad. He's the one. Why? Because they're losing people, hemorrhaging people. They said they can't keep, and the people that's there not even members. They put every other chill on the sister side to make you feel like think somebody is. So you better have a what do you call a coup? I wouldn't even get that kind of right respect. That happens. And like I said, then when getting kicked, they have to go and protect. They have to go and protect their military in Europe. That's of course economic collapse here. During that time, forces under siege. And they're watching it, and when they see, remember, they can't help it because America and Britain's out of the Middle East now. So they see it, and you see it, it's hopeless. Okay? That's when they're going to attack you because they don't want you to see a true vision. Because falsehoods go, that means that vision is a lie. That's they're going to attack during that period of time. So you got a couple of minutes to watch. Right? But the point is, flee to where? You're going to know that because during that time, right, that's when the people sat in dark, in the great light. That's when the real Son of Man, right, says, who the Lord will consume with the spit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. Same thing. That's Farrakhan. The Jones cat that kicked out of there. You got someone else representing it, right? Listen to him. Listen to him. The news, somebody taking control in NOI. That's the true Son of Man. Farrakhan will cast down. Listen to him. He's going to tell you what to do and where to go. He's going to draw you to himself. Oh, I just told you where to go. Did I? Is that where it's self going to be? Jump to conclusion if you want to. He's going to tell you where to go. Is he going to be there? He's going to be there when time comes, but he's going to be there to tell you where to go. Okay, if that's what you think, you go with that. Okay? Prepare you to get the hell out of here. Now, these clowns was talking about, hey, man, who can't get here, man? We got millions of us. We got ships and everything else. No. That's why Muhammad has trampled. He's got his wheels. That's why he got so many wheels. Transport us out of here. Back home to Arabia. That's another story altogether. I'm just telling you about what you need to know right now. Right now. What you're up against right now. Farrakhan never saw us coming. He's on a deathbed, death watch. He never saw us coming. He's pitching shit in the bags and the curse. None of these clowns out there saw us coming. I've been telling you about this in detail. Now that they see it coming, they have no solution. So I wonder what they're going to be talking about tomorrow. Tekel. It had nothing to do with the Middle East anyway. You understand what that means. You have to break the seal of Daniel to understand what that means. It has nothing to do with the Middle East. Nothing. Absolutely nothing with it. It has to do with a connection between Belshazzar and Belteshazzar. It has nothing to do with the Middle East. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's what's happening right now. While false Israel is on the move, they know they come out. They already plans are closing on you. That's why they're doing a test. Genocide. Hey, it ain't nothing. See? The media is not talking about it. Open genocide, the media's not even mentioning it here at all. See? But they could do that to you. Gather you up. That's what ICE is doing. They use a test case in Minnesota with the Somalis. Black folks. He had to back off that because why did he back off that suddenly? He said, why did he back off on that? Because people, first of all, I called them out on it. Plus, people start, hey, man, what? You understand? He's after black people. All right, you know what? Let the cat out the bag, so to speak. That's what's all about, the closing on your brothers and sisters. Like I said, that's why if you didn't pay attention, that's why you got to flee. You can't go in the house to get your baby. You're going to flee in panic. That means they're right at your door because you didn't pay attention. So I gave some points. I gave some blow by blow. Oh, I don't even use that terminology. It's English language, boy. I gave you a step-by-step situation. That's a blessing because I'm telling you what to look for leading up to that. So you start seeing these things, you say, okay, you said this right, that right. That's only, normally that wouldn't be happening, brothers and sisters. That's a blessing and mercy to you. That's what God's given you. Otherwise, you wouldn't, you either believe or you don't. He's giving you reasons to believe. I don't think any other prophet messenger ever did that before. Give me reason to believe. They'll say, see this? Ever see this? See that? See that? Then you make your move here. Right? That was a promise made to you that you'll be given that information. You go to the hard cards, you'll be given it. So that's a blessing to give you that. So not just telling you flee, I just tell you that. Then no, I'm telling you, if you see this, Iran tears the ass up, come like a whirlwind, like it says. Oh, because these clowns, they ain't telling you that. Oh, he must be right. They see American Britain getting the hell out of there on fire. Oh, then you see false Israel under siege. They abandoned. Oh, 3 warnings there. Never got so many warnings in your life. 3 warnings right there. You're gonna see in a few more days. Shows 3 things. Nobody else telling you this. That's one of the reasons why I had to say deal with Injil a certain way, because if I splayed it out clearly, these clowns would grab them and say they broke the seals. Then we got a problem. Because how do you know? 3 things. Right? 3 things. You already see this. I already told you about this war, so I told you to break out. That's one. You already got that one. Maybe you're listening, maybe you're not. Second is, right, boom, Iran. Now he's ran all this year. Firestorm. Tamp the Middle East. Right? You can have a war, but you can have a war between Sunni and Shia too, but the firestorm was going to kick America and Britain out and put forces under siege. You're going to see next. You're also going to see, but you might not recognize this because they're going to cover it up. That's why I'm going to show up there, and there's going to be a big uproar. Because he's at 12 p.m. All he got to do is show up one of the smaller ships, case closed. He's there, 15 a.m. The Shia is going to be highly motivated. They'll be shouting. People are going to say, why are they shouting over there? Why so excited? They ain't going to tell you to meet over here. But see, the point is that that's why you're going to find the Air Force is going to be totally destroyed. They say, well, how did Iran destroy the Air Force? Because Master Muhammad did it. Well, stop that and stop them from using nuclear weapons. But you may not see that sign, or you know it's some mystery about the Air Force, because I'm not going to tell you that over here. So that's why I hold that one back. You might not see that one clearly, but you're going to see the other one. But you're going to see Iran. That's actually by them kicking that. Somebody must get the Air Force out, because Iran can't do it personally. Anyway, that's what you're going to see. Watch out. Sets America on fire. Sets Britain on fire. They run, and I didn't leave forces under siege. Right? You see that? Then you see Europe turn against America. Oh, that's another sign. Europe turn against America. That's Armageddon. That's two signs right there. Armageddon. Forces are under siege. Abandoned. These things you're going to see. If you see these things, be prepared. And then following the total economic collapse in Europe. I'm telling you, all these details. Now watch the weather. So you don't have to listen to me, right? You still got time. And then America has to get war Armageddon. They got to go and save their troops over in Europe, and that's going to cause the economic collapse here. At that same time, right? But during this time, I forgot to mention that. During this time, forces, Farrakhan and them going to be thrown out, cast out while the war's still going on. So you're going to see, that's another sign you're going to see. Someone else took over, they're cast out, someone else is taking over the NOI. Was that 4 signs right there? Man, how can you go wrong? You see all those things in detail. Then economic collapse here because they got to take all the oil to use that to fight in Europe. No, sir, that's 5 altogether. The things you're going to see. And that's what time false Israel, right? Just realize that they're gone. That sign is faded, dissolved. True sign comes up and the people start, that's when they're going to attack. That's when you got to flee. If you haven't fled already. See, because when you see the person take over the NOI, he's going to tell you where to flee to, what to do. So if you pay attention to that, then you don't have to worry about the next sign. See? When the falsehood actually goes down, they have to attack you. You already fled. If you went through all those signs and didn't pay attention to any of them, you wait the last one, then you got to flee in panic. And you have a bunch of signs right there tell you, if you miss all those, then you probably need to burn up. I never did this before. Maybe I'll take a document and put it in a bullet point, right? Those are signs you need to watch out for in detail, and you can tell me those signs you can see in the next month, next 30 days. Those signs, right? That means listen to that person Sitting where I'm at right now, we're sitting right, no, I'm not there right there, but that's where that the Son of Man will be, where you see right there in the Nation of Islam, temple number 2, not this Miriam stuff they made up. When you see that person there, Farrakhan is cast out. Listen, because you still have time. Listen to him. We're going to tell you what to do. Exact instructions. If you don't, then you're going to be fleeing in panic. And if you're out in the suburb land or whatever, then you're not going to make it. Okay, I'm sure I got here, bro. Says I'm going to close. Here, situation. America controls our energy, tells us to work and everything else. Okay. And that this is what mass family great take down when that war, right? By taking control of all, wasn't Armageddon, breaks America's hold over us. Remember, because when that comet collapsed, that's in the American dream, that false vision. So now the false vision is gone, and then the true vision come and manifest. And so you start, then you get true vision, now you come alive. That's your birth. The destruction of that American dream is their death. It says, Babylon was destroyed in one day, and your resurrection will be in one day. One causes the other. Our life caused their death. Their life caused our death. They came alive, got America and everything else, but caused our death for 5 years. You understand? Truly connected. Was Israel? They got identity. That's about to be destroyed. So their control of us about to be destroyed. American dream. Was Israel and sees that lie that they choose Abraham destroyed. Right? The next stage is we have to go and take our land back. That's Master Muhammad takes us back to Arabia. There's no story. I'm not against that right now. That's once we get out of here. Then who has the economy? They send out jobs, industrial jobs to China, and electoral jobs, they put the Indians over to do them. They want you to have them. They put jails for you. Make our own cream planet with God universe. All that belongs to us, we're going to take it back, and they're going to resist. That's the apocalypse. Armageddon is just a phase of the apocalypse. That's the apocalypse, taking all that back, and they're going to resist. Make our own cream planet with God universe. That's the mission, brothers and sisters. That's the mission of covenant. They don't talk about. Look at the mission of the covenant. He's in Malachi. They don't mention it. They say Elijah's the last messenger. I don't care if you can read first, third grade level. You can't. If you can read all, there's 2 messengers in there. They say Elijah's the last messenger. Well, who's the messenger of the covenant then? Who's that one that's cursed with a curse? You got the God. He didn't rob the nation. That's Master Muhammad. You got Elijah the messenger. He didn't rob the nation. You got the messenger of the covenant. He's the one going to take you home. He didn't rob the nation. So we got 3, but who? So all 3 of these, at some point, had control of the Nation of Islam. But wait a minute, there's a vacuum there between the God, Elijah, and Messenger of the Covenant. That's Aaron, Farrakhan. He said he would control for 40 years. That's what it says in Exodus, 40-some years. He betrayed the people, messed them up and everything else. He's the one that's robbing the nation. It's one of them. So the man robbed this, so who robbed God? So it says, actually, the nation. It says, rob this nation. I mean, how clear can it be? So if you say, is God doing it? Is Elijah doing it? Man of the covenant? No, it's got to be the one in between there. Same thing, Exodus. You have the God, he comes to Moses. Moses asked for Aaron. God got mad. He did not anoint Aaron. He told Moses, you don't need Aaron. He tried to talk Moses out of it. Because he's anointed. No, he wasn't. He's the one that ruled after Elijah, and absolutely Elijah's left, in Elijah's absence, he betrayed the nation, made a mockery for the enemies. It says right there, it says God told Moses, get down here because he done turn the people away from what I taught you. He done turn away from my teaching everything. That's clear. You take word for, or you just follow Exodus, you can't go wrong. Follow Exodus, and you can't go wrong. Follow Exodus, you can't go wrong. Okay? And then Joshua. That's the name in Malachi. No name Jesus in the manuscript. Name is Joshua. He's the one to take us home. That's why they say, raise Jesus up, because they don't want you to realize, understand Exodus, understand that Joshua is the one that will take you home. He's the messenger of the covenant. They're the one that says it, that you return home between the river Euphrates and the river of Egypt, which is Arabia. Okay, brothers and sisters. Just by Exodus, you can't go wrong. In the Farrakhan. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Well, I could explain this, but I'm not. This has some blows up. It doesn't pulses and then it blows up. That's what America's been doing since it start and stop, start and stop, and then finally it blow. Boom. Start to blow up. That's it. And the vultures, these are all these clowns out there with their bullshit. Oh, it's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of one son of man. Once you take over, that's their ass. I advise them to find another universe quick as possible.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among? Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Demons and liars and their price. I'm closing out here, brother. It says, Assalamu alaikum. And I told you got all those signs. When that person, Farrakhan is cast out, listen. It'll give you information to save you. You have to save yourself. I can't save you. I give information. You have to apply it. Assalamu alaikum.